The Angry Marks Podcast Network is brought to you by WrestleWork, a social network to connect, create, and share everything about pro wrestling. Check it out today at WrestleWork.com. You're listening to Emerson Whitner's NXT Report on the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, whenever you're listening to this. This is Emerson Whitner, and this is your NXT audio update for April 1st, 2015. Like I said before, I am Emerson Whitner, the host of the successful Wrestling Outsiders podcast, our live broadcast every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Last night, we did a complete rundown of my WrestleMania weekend. Our past 54 episodes and counting can be heard on demand on blogtalkradio.com/Wrestling Outsiders. It includes pay-per-view recaps and interviews with some great people, including NWA President Bruce Tharpe, Stevie J, Brian Alvarez, R.D. Reynolds, and Antonio the Promise Thomas. On to NXT. Now, as you may have noticed, last week I wasn't here. I was in the middle of flying to San Jose for WrestleMania weekend. I did eventually watch last week's episode. I actually watched it this morning. I didn't take any notes, but I can tell you, if you haven't already seen it, there's a really, really good Kevin Owens-Finn Balor match. It went, about 20 minutes, a little more than 20 minutes. It was basically pay-per-view length. Well, NXT TakeOver length, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, go out of your way to watch it. There's only two matches on the show. The other was Sasha versus Alexa Bliss. If you want to skip that, fine. I think it went like 5-6 minutes. Sasha's still the champion, in case you weren't already aware of it. But let's jump into this week. The show started with Sami Zayn returning to NXT for the first time since TakeOver Rival on February 11th, when he lost the NXT title to Kevin Owens. He did note that he did wrestle on the Abu Dhabi tour and all the house shows against for WWE, but while out there, all he could think of was Kevin Owens. He said that the Kevin Owens he wrestled last month at TakeOver was not the same Kevin Owens he wrestled 2 years ago or even 10 years ago. This is a different man. So Sami now has a two-prong attack. One is use his rematch clause and recapture his NXT title. And two, and this is most important to him, it's to kick Kevin Owens' ass. The first match went about 20 seconds. Rhino destroyed a nameless opponent. I just listed him as a local competitor. Honestly, I think it was Jason Jordan, but I didn't get a good look at him, and they didn't name him. So, plus Jason Jordan was wrestling later on in the show. Not saying they've never taped these shows out of order before, so it's possible it was Jason Jordan, and they just didn't mention it because of how awkward that would be. So let's hear. Rhino won that match really quickly with the gore. Dana Brooke is coming. In case you don't know who she is the blonde fitness model who competed at the Arnold Classic. Also, I hugged her at Access, so I got to add her to the list of divas I hugged. I also hugged Lita, but yeah, so that's two more to add to that illustrious list. Last week, after his match with Finn Balor, Kevin Owens cut a promo saying that all that matters is that he won. No one is taking his title, not Balor, not Sami Zayn, no one. Emma pinned Bayley next. Bayley pinned Emma. I put that in wrong. This match has been set up for about a month now. When Emma returned to NXT, the first thing she did was go to Bayley and warn her what being nice and sweet and polite would do to her. And then last week, she actually slapped Bayley. So this week, they had, I get the point of the match. The point of the match was that Emma was lulling Bayley into a false sense of security, so Emma would knock Bayley down, but then pick her back up because she's her friend, quote unquote, her friend. This match was just, half paced basically. Emma would basically school Bayley, but then do a half-assed come back over that. At one point, finally, she went for the cover on Bayley, but she did so by kneeling over Bayley and doing her little Emma dance, and so Bayley rolled her up and picked up the win. Emma showed frustration, and Bayley just walked out and let her be. Becky Lynch cut a promo saying that she's the only diva on NXT to not get a singles title match, which is true. She said she came from Ireland for one reason, to shave most of her head, grow a beard, and braid it. Nah, just kidding. She just wants to win the title. I'll tell you what, Sheamus, I don't care what everyone else says, Sheamus looks badass now. But on to the next bout, Wesley Blake and Buddy Murphy versus the Lucha Dragons. I met Blake and Murphy at Access, nice guys, but here's the thing. Even after meeting them, I still have no idea which one is which. And it was even worse when standing next to them. It was amazing. Like, I'm standing there in front of them. I'm like, okay, I'm up close to them. I can tell I'll be able to figure out the difference between each one. They look exactly alike. Okay, not like enough that you could say they're even brothers, but enough that I watched the show myself, and they're like, oh, you should look at her tights. They could tell which one of us is which, because I told them I didn't know which one was which. And I'm like, well, you need to take a step down. You need to slow down a little bit so you can actually read your tights. They didn't listen to me. This match was the fast-paced match that you would normally find in a Lucha Dragons match. By the way, they wrestled the Lucha Dragons. I don't know if I said that or not. Let's see here. The champs got the heat on Kalisto, which is a little bit different. Normally they get the heat on Sin Cara, and then Sin Cara makes the hot tag to Kalisto. But this one, they did it in reverse, and the match just wasn't the same. Sin Cara did get the hot tag and went all Lucha, but I don't know, it just wasn't as exciting as when Kalisto does it. At one point, Cara went up top for a big what a maneuver, but got shoved off. The champs then won with their running suplex / frog splash combo. Sami Zayn was backstage and getting ready to open his mouth and cut another promo when Rhino came up and informed Sami that the line for NXT title shots starts behind the man beast. Solomon Crow had a video package air. My brother will be happy. That's about it. Jason Jordan, after possibly getting destroyed by Rhino in 10 seconds in the opener, got to beat Ty Dillinger, his former partner. They've broken up at least 3 or 4 times at this point, but this is their first match. But I'll tell you this, if they keep wrestling each other, one day I'm just going to assume that they've really broken up. Jordan took about 90% of this match. Dillinger just took a beating, kept getting a beating. He got very little offense in at the end, and Jordan cut him off and won with the T-bone suplex. Next week, I don't know if they're going to have anything else, but they've announced that next week they're going to be showing all the stuff from Access and WrestleMania weekend. That's next week. And then in the main event, 2 out of 3 falls match, Tyler Breeze with the upset, beating Hideo Itami 2 out of 3 falls. It's broken down basically the WWE 2 out of 3 falls, where the first 2 falls go really, really quickly, and then they have a nice long third fall, which makes you wonder why they even bother doing 2 out of 3 falls. The announcers erroneously call this only the second 2 out of 3 falls match, when there's actually been 3 others before this. It's funny that Corey Graves wouldn't say anything to correct. I believe it was Rich Brennan who said that, since Corey Graves was in one of the other 2 out of 3 falls matches. Of course, the 3 before this being the famous Cesaro-Sami Zayn match. We also had Corey Graves versus Adrian Neville and Sami Zayn versus Leo Kruger. Kruger, of course, later became Adam Rose. Not that it matters, but Itami won the first fall with the running kick to the face. Breeze got the second fall with the beauty shot. And then after commercial, we got, an actual match. The announcers pushed that the winner would be the next number 1 contender. And, I guess it never hurts to have too many people fighting over who's going to get the next title shot. In a way, they should concentrate and have, one guy as the solo number 1 contender. But it makes that look important when 5 or 6 guys all are fighting over the title shot, and you can honestly look at all 5 or 6 guys and go, each person deserves a title shot. Like, it's not like watching Raw and say that Seth Rollins comes out as WWE champion, and out comes John Cena and Justin Gabriel, both saying they want the WWE title shot. That might be a little ridiculous. They traded near falls, which got the fans rocking, jumping up and down. I don't know what it was about this crowd, but they did not give 2 craps about this show. But this final fall, the main event, got them going. Itami missed the corner drop kick. Breeze then missed the beauty shot. Itami then hit the corner drop kick, but when he sent Breeze off the ropes for the running kick, Prince Pretty came off with a beauty shot, and then Breeze collapsed onto Itami to pick up the surprising win. And so, yes, Tyler Breeze may have won the feud despite Itami winning 3 other matches in the feud, and this is only Breeze's second win in the feud. He's going to claim victory in the feud in general. Well, that's going to do it for this week. Short and sweet. Got that done in 12 and a half minutes. Like I said, Wrestling Outsiders podcast. I think this week's show went about 70, 80 minutes like most of them do. But hey, it's all WrestleMania weekend. But I want to thank you all for listening to this. Thank you all for, your support. And I will talk to you all again next week.